Hello, it's T with Teresa H Creates, and I have a tutorial today. Well, it's kind of a show and tell and then a tutorial, but recently I picked up some of these little expanding wallet folders at a garage sale, and I thought, you know what, I could probably do something with these. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been playing around the last few days, and I will show you what I have made. The measurement on these is, let me see. Well, I have a ruler. Okay, I know I've got the grid, but it's kind of off. So it looks like 5 3/4 by 3 1/2 on this. Now it does say in the inside that it is RedRope expanding wallet number, and it's by Smead, but it's number 1021C. And I did do a quick search. It wasn't an exhaustive search, but it was a quick search to see if I could find this size, and I could not, so it may be discontinued now, and I may have the only 5 that are left. However, I did, when I was searching, see some of these in a beautiful 9 by 5. So it was long and thin, and I thought I could use this same technique and make some really nice journals out of those. So let me show you what I've done. So I've made 2 little journals, Christmas themed, of course, because it is Christmas in July, right? And as you can see, I dyed the ribbon on them. And for these particular ones, I used the Adirondack Color Wash in Cranberry, and it was a Tim Holtz. It's an old one. I've had it for forever. And then I used, let me see, before we take a look at it, let me show you the paper collections I used. I used Peppermint Stripe by Recollection, so that's a Michaels paper pad. And I know a lot of you have noticed and commented, since I've done a few haul videos on the Michaels from last year, is that this is the Peppermint Stripe that I picked up just this last year in 2023. However, this one was from 2022. And so it's Peppermint Stripe as well. So it does look like, and of course it coordinates, and a lot of them are the same. There are maybe a few pages that are different. And so I was able to pull papers from both of those. And that was this collection here. And then this one, the collection I used for that, was also Recollections, and it's the Say Freeze. And it was the same thing. This one I picked up in 2023, and then this one was from 2022. And a few papers were different. So I had 2 6x6 pads, and then I had the Slimline pad, the 3 1/2 by 7, almost 8 inches. I think it was 7 7/8 or 7/12. So anyhow, this is the collection that I used for the second one. So I was able to get quite a bit out of those. So let me show you what I've done. So I went in and I removed the expanding parts here on the side. And so it opens up after you untie it. Here, it says Good Cheer, and I left this blank so that I could add stuff later. I kept them pretty basic because they do expand, but I did want them to, I didn't want to fill them up too much because they're quite small. So I have a little pocket here out of the paper, and I made a little tag to go in there. And then here is another little pocket, and just some ephemera, a little tag, and then the pages, obviously. I left this side blank, but here's another pocket and tag, and then here are just little pages. I think I did 5 pages, or 5 sheets of paper per signature, and there are 2 signatures. I used some red twine on this one and just tied it off. I just did the double, the 2-hole stitching there. And then this one is, I added a pocket on here. It says ho, ho, ho. And then there's just a couple of the little cut aparts that were in there. And I had to trim those down quite a bit so that they didn't come up beyond the expandable folder part. And then the second signature, some more just pages, book pages, grids. And then on this one, I added another one, pocket as well, 'Tis the Season, with a couple of little pull cut aparts that I added there also. And then that is it. It folds over. See how cute that is? And I added the signature. Let's see if you can see where it goes up, so that in the back you can see the lines there, but it's between the expandable pieces. I did ink the edges all the way around. There's the back of it. I did just cut a hole, but I put a sticker here to kind of reinforce that, so when it's, you know, being pulled, it doesn't tear the paper. And I dyed these before I even picked up my pages. Otherwise, I probably would have chosen maybe some different colors, but I knew I was going to go Christmas, and I thought, oh, I'll use that cranberry. I did not use gloves. It has taken me a couple of days to, I mean, of scrubbing, alcohol, everything. So that's what all this red is, this red dye on my hands. And so no fingers were actually injured in the making of these little booklets, but I did get ink everywhere. And so this one says Christmas wishes. I'll also put a little panel there. Open it up. Here's a little tag here, and it's going to be a magical Christmas. This is a pocket here, but I didn't put anything there. I've got a little heart and then a tag, Holly Jolly. And on this one, I didn't add anything on the insides of this one. This one was the first one I had done, and I did it using some of the wax-coated string that I have that I usually use for bookbinding, for journal binding, and it was such a struggle, and I felt like it slipped too much, and that's when I switched to the twine, rather. So I've got a tiny paper clip here, and I added just a couple of the little cut-apart journaling cards on the second signature. And then again, a pocket with a tag. It says warmest wishes here. And then we close it up, and there you go. And then the back with the little reinforced sticker. So I'm making a third, and I wanted to kind of walk through the whole process with you so I could show you what I did, so that if you happen to have some of these, or you're able to locate some, then you can make these little journals, because they're nice and sturdy, very, very sturdy. Then you could make some yourself, or you might do like me and see if you can get your hands on a different size and go for it that way, because it does make a nice little journal. It would make a cute little traveling journal. Of course, it's Christmas in July, so I did my Christmas themed ones, but it would definitely make a cute little traveling journal of any type. So the next one I chose, these are the papers that I chose, and I went ahead and did a lot of prep work for this so that I could just highlight the key points of this process. And I didn't have to make you sit through all of the steps of it, but this is the paper I chose. So it's Die Cuts with a View, the DCWV. I chose Season of Joy and then Joyful Christmas. I just felt like the papers coordinated really well together, and that way I had 2 packs to choose from. So let's get started. This one, I went ahead and decided to use, let me see, it was Distress Spray ink and ground espresso. That's what I ended up using on this one. I left it in my little spray box, and I don't know if you can see, it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. Can you see? I don't know if the light's picking it up or not, but in person you can see a little bit of shimmer on this, and it's because I had sprayed some mica spray in there a while back, and so while it was sitting there drying, it was picking up some of that mica spray, and so it does have a little shimmer to it. But I did ground espresso in that. I went ahead and selected my papers, and I did the cover. So I've covered the cover. Here's the inside of the little pocket of the flap. I did the front pocket. I've been putting these inside these pockets to hold them open so that I would have plenty of room to be able to slide tags in there when those were made. It has not been cut yet. And then I went ahead and did the back of this. So that's what the back looks like. And I'll show you the rest. So this process of cutting it apart, I actually did that first and got the book ready. But because, like I said, I wanted to save some time, but I wanted to show you what I did, I went ahead and saved it this time. So I kind of opened it up, and I'm going to cut all the way to the end on both sides. and then I pulled the flap out, and then from this angle, I trimmed off the extra, and then I'll do the same on the other side. I'm gonna open it up. Cut down there. And don't worry, you'll be able to clean it up pretty easily once you've got it open. Again, I'm gonna fold it out. Make sure you cut all the way to the end, and then cut right along that line. Now, I can open it up, and then I've been taking my larger scissors, and because this is so much heavier weight than the expandable part of it, it's pretty easy to now trim, and you can just use it as a guide. So I use my larger scissors and then just trim up the edges. It's super, super easy to do. And then I'll get the other side. But if there are those of you out there who like a nice heavy duty kind of a cover, but you don't necessarily want it to be as stiff as maybe an altered book, or you struggle with how to put closures on your journals, this one is a nice sturdy, you know, outside cover, and then it's already got the attached closure. So makes it a lot easier. When I did this, I got a little smarter and wore gloves, so that's why I don't have the ground espresso all over my fingers. So yay for that. Now that I've got it opened up, I am going to add the insides. I'm going to show you how I did those. So I just cut them down to size, and then I used, and so with all of these are the ones that are going to go on the back. I think I'm going to switch. Yeah. Okay. So I did end up using, it's just a 1/4 inch double-sided tape. I put it on, and I didn't trust, I use art glitter glue, but I didn't trust just the glue to hold these on to this because I haven't ever worked with this type of substrate before. So I didn't know what to trust. And so I did have a snafu early on, and I was just using the glue, and I was able to pop it up really easily. So that's when I switched to doubling up on the tape and the glue on that. And then again, just more of the 1/4, and I need more. I ordered, it is Prime Day, and I was up early this morning seeing if I could catch any Prime Day deals, and I did get some more double-sided tape because I desperately needed it. And I've already prepped these as far as, obviously I've cut them, but I also rounded the edges, and I'm leaving a little border around it. And then I also inked up the edges on all of them. And all 3 of them, I used the Tim Holtz Walnut Stain to ink up all the edges. And now for the pockets. So I'm using an 1/8 of an inch for the pockets because I want it to be super thin. I wanted the security of having the double-sided tape again. And then I'll also use the glue. So we're just going to glue down the 3 sides. And typically when I'm doing pockets, I don't use tape at all because it stays wet. And if you're sliding tags in and out, you run the risk of the tags catching on the tape. It's a risk I'm willing to take with this just because I really want this to stay on straight. All right. I am going to slip this in here. It's nice and thick, so it's going to kind of create that little pocket while it's drying. So like I said, typically I wouldn't use that 1/8 inch, but, or I wouldn't use tape at all, period. That's why I'm just using the 1/8 inch. Just for the risk, but there's only a couple of pockets in this one. And like I said, I really want it to stick. let me know if any of you have seen any tutorials with people using these to create journal covers. I think it's super cute. All right, pull this out. Reinforce that little pocket while it's drying. All right, and then we will go ahead and get the holes punched so that we can add our signatures. Put this back in my glue. So the way that I did this is I wanted the I wanted it to hide, the string to hide right here in these little grooves. And so I'm actually going to punch holes in these parts here. So I kind of hold it down flat, and I've got a template. This is what I was doing. Flip it the other way. I've got a template, and I was placing it down into that groove. So I'm coming at it kind of backwards from the back side. Let me get my awl. I've got my book here for piercing. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. And I'd already measured this template and had it ready to go. It's the same one I used for the other two. These will straighten out. They fold in, but they will straighten out. There we go. Fits right in those grooves. All right, so I've got my holes punched and ready to go. Let me trim this off right here. And now I've got my signatures. So I kept the signatures pretty basic. I just grabbed some of the stuff that I had in my stash. So I've got some tea dyed paper. I've got some thick grid paper, some ledger paper, some, I think this is coffee dyed. It might be tea dyed, but anyhow, it's dyed paper, but it's actually faux. So it was printed that way. And then some music sheets. So like I said, five sheets per signature is what I have going on here. So it makes for 10 pages. So it'll be 20 pages. So I've got them nice and deep in that groove. I'm going to put the clips on to hold them in place. And then, let me turn this sideways. I'm going to get my template. And now this is going to be cut down. So lengthwise, I was pretty good at measuring them out. I know that this is going to be wider than my book, and I'm going to have to do some trimming, which is fine. And my awl. All right. I'll keep that together. I'm going to use red twine again. And yay, I struggle with threading these, but I already have it threaded. So yay. And then this will be my first signature. And the other two, I just went in once, and then I just stitched in once and then tied in the center, but this time I think I'm going to go through twice. I didn't have any issues with it feeling sturdy or not feeling sturdy, but my concern is that it might get loose over time, like that knot might come undone. So it was really rather the stress on the knot itself and not really that it didn't feel sturdy. So I should have enough here to go through twice and on both of these books. I did that on purpose because I didn't want to have you sit there while I was threading this needle. You know, and let me see. I may not go through. another time because these signatures were pretty sturdy. But it was the knot that I was concerned. Yeah, they're sturdy. They're in there pretty good. So I think I'm only going to do one. I'm going to go ahead and just do one. And tie it off. And give it a tug. Make sure it's nice and tight. Go ahead and give it a cut. Then I was holding that knot down and then pulling these as tight as possible. And it was a little bit loose, but because I guess maybe the type of cardboard it is, this really thick cardboard stuff, that it doesn't slide around. So it was actually on there pretty good. And if not, I'll do it again. See, it's on there pretty good. All right, now we'll do the second one. In this one, I did add this green doily. So I have a different type of ledger paper in this one, and I have this green doily. Make sure everything is good and lined up. I don't know how this doily is going to do stitched in here, but I was going through some of my ephemera and found it kind of last minute, and I was like, oh, I'm going to toss that in there. A little splash of green. All right, since the template is a little wider than the signature, you really want to make sure that you get it kind of centered, that you have the same amount of space on the template on each side of this. Hope that makes sense. All right, and then we will sew in the second signature. Go ahead and stick that there, so hold on to it. I know I'm a bit of a mess. I have to pick everything up and kind of look through it, and then I pull everything together at the end. I'm not one of those who can line up the holes and just put the needle through. It does never work for me like that. And then I end up playing this back and forth game of tying that on. Get rid of this. All right, I think we got in there now, nice and tight. Oh, I putzed around with that too much. All right, let me go ahead and trim this down. Laundry's done. Yay. What are the chances of one of my kids grabbing the laundry and folding it? I think 0, but one can hope, right? So I'm going to hold that knot down, give it a good tie. All right. Now, these are obviously longer than the book, right? And I wanted to account for each of these being a little bit different, each of these books potentially being a little bit different. And I didn't want to worry too much about the length. So what I did was, now that I've got it folded, I'm going to push it, or now that I've got them tied in and secured, I'm going to push it down on this side. And I've moved everything else of importance out of the way. Get my string out of the way, everything else out of the way. This is a cutting mat. So I'm going to take my ruler. A lot of people use a box cutter. I don't have one, so I'm going to use my X-Acto blade and go through here and do this. Oh, I had some book page in this one. I forgot about that. I added some old book page. We're going to get through all of these signatures. There we go. And there it is. All right. Finished decorating. Let me move all my little scrap bits to the side. I put the cap on that before there is an injury in the studio. All right. Now to start kind of decorating and finishing this off, I do want to take a second and go ahead and do the edges of this book before I put anything in there. So I was distressing a lot of these edges so that it kind of blends in a little bit. And again, it's just that walnut stain. I'm not being super careful about it. I want it to kind of have that distressed look. These are obviously a little bit older, so they're not in great condition anyway. They've got little like watermarks and stuff like that on them is what I mean. Structurally, they're perfectly fine. All right, let's see. I think I need to get around here. Plus, I made a mess when I was doing all the dyeing, see? When you're doing these, the one thing that you do want to make sure that you do is it has the little folding parts here. You want to make sure that you don't come up too high with your papers on either side, and you leave that exposed for the bending and everything. I hope someone else has these and that I've given them maybe an idea. Or if you have these and you've done something completely different, let me know. I still have two that I haven't done anything with yet. So I've got two in my stash. I didn't want to use all of them up, even though this was a pretty cute little tutorial, but because I couldn't find any more. I'm sorry, a pretty cute little book, but I couldn't find any more. So I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to get my hands on any more like this. All right, to the inside. This is what I kind of have prepped. So I used my little tag punch that I've got. Let me see. It's a Marvy tag punch, and so I cut some tags from coordinating paper. I've got a little journaling card, and then I've got some tags here, and this was going to be decorative. So let me use my glue. My needle is bent for my glue, and to top it all off, not only is that needle bent, but I lost the little ball on top. So it has been impossible to keep up with this, and I have to search everywhere for it as I'm going through here doing these. That's cute, isn't it? Okay, but I need a little topper. Okay, so let me see. I might use this guy. What I've been doing for toppers on these is just cutting a circle. So I have a punch here. It's 1 3/8. And let me cut a little circle. There we go. And then I've just been folding it in half. Kinda. All right. And then inking up the edges on both sides. Oops. And then I'm taking my little tiny attacher from Tim Holtz and stapling these on. Just kind of doing a little X on there. And look at that. Isn't that cute? So I do have the little Welltail tab coming. Those were super popular. It's been in my cart for forever, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on that. But they became super popular for a minute, and then you couldn't get them, or you had to pay an exorbitant amount to get them. And so I was like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't. And now they're back, I guess in stock or wherever it was that they were. And I ordered one for Prime. So it should be coming in the next few days. I'm really excited about it. Let me see. I like this. I think I'm going to do the up and down. We're going to do vertical instead of horizontal on that. I'm going to put it on this one. That's cute. So I can't wait to get that. And so that I'll have another option for these little tags. But in the meantime, I think that this this little circle, oh, that matches. Okay, this will go here. Or this will go here. Like that. And I'm going to put the little journaling card in there too. Perfect. Okay, and then this guy will go here. Yep. Okay, now I need a topper for that one. Anyhow, I ordered that Welltail tab, and I'm really excited about it. Can't wait for that to come in. Have you guys taken advantage of any of the Amazon Prime Day deals? I will have an Amazon haul. It is I have to mention it every time I record this month. It is my birthday month. And so I've been, I received a lot of gift cards. And I saved them all up for Amazon Prime Day. And I basically have restocked a lot of stuff and then bought some stuff that was just kind of in my wish list for a little bit. So I'm excited about that coming in, and I'll do a little haul. I should have everything, I think, by Friday. How cute is that? Look. And then let's look and see what that looks like. It looks okay. So this one, I had some book page in it, and then I had that little bit of doily, so that's a little bit of fun. It is off on the sides here, or on the bottom here. I wonder if I can turn that. Have to get in there. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then I'm not going to decorate inside of this is upside down. Look at those numbers. Oh, I'm a mess. Doesn't matter. It's flavor, right? It gives it character. There's my little tags and journaling card there. I'm not going to add anything else to the insides of these, just so that they can be, you know, personalized by the owner. I'd rather that happen. Now, for the top, I went ahead and prepped some stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with it 100%, but I did prep it. And I was thinking about doing this little candy stripe right here. And then adding these little leaves over here, and then maybe doing some berries. Yeah. And then I've got a Be Merry, Be Bright. All right, I think I'm gonna go with it. Gonna go for it. And I have this kind of ready to go because I was kind of prepping all of them at the same time. All of these toppers on here. Just gonna do the bottoms. Over a little bit. I don't want it to stick off. Yeah, don't want it to stick off too much. And I want them to kind of curl up a little bit, give them a little dimension. We'll do Be Merry, Be Bright. Oops. Got a little too excited. There we go. All right, and then I have these enamel dots. And I thought maybe these darker ones would make good berries. So let's see. Let me see if and I don't have my jewel picker out. It's all right. put it on there and then just try to maneuver it into place. I am really enjoying Christmas in July. Christmas is my favorite thing to craft. My favorite holiday to craft. Ooh, I'm making a mess. And the third one right in here. It is my absolute favorite to craft, and I have just been enjoying Christmas in July so much. Okay, kind of stacked those up. All right, and there it is. How cute. I'm gonna tie it off. These will make cute little gifts. They didn't take much time at all once I had the hang of it. You know, I had to cut it apart and kind of think about it, think about how it was going to move and, you know, where I was going to put the signatures and everything. And meanwhile, they're, you know, nicely tucked in there. They look pretty. So there they are. Good cheer, Christmas wishes, and then be merry, be bright. I absolutely love them. I hope that you like them too. I hope that even if you don't have something like this, that maybe this encourages you to kind of think outside the box when you're looking for, you know, junk journal covers, because you can literally make a journal from anything. Soft materials, nice pliable journals, to things that are a little bit sturdier. And the sizes don't matter. And I think that the little minis are extra cute and a lot of fun to make, and they're just quick and easy. Anyhow, if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate your support. And to all my subscribers, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for your continued support. And until next time, goodbye.